make sure I've got everything going. Let's see here. I'm sorry for the immediate awful noise. I hit start streaming and then realized I had some other things I needed to do for setup first. Poorly done. Alright. Chat seems to be working. Everything seems good to go. You can see it on stream. Hold on here. Just gonna fix this overlay a little bit. Good to go. Okay. Let's rock and roll. We're back with the Pokemon Nuzlocke, Pokemon X. We are going to be gaming. Let's see here. We should have the chat on screen now for anybody who wishes to see that. Pretty cool. Desktop audio seems a little quiet. Should adjust it there. All right. So, where we left off last time, we had some really tragic deaths. And this next gym's going to be brutal because we lost Georgie, our starter, who was our go-to water type. So now I'm going to be training up my team here, doing some grinding to prep for the gym, and then hopefully tackle the gym this episode. Or I guess this stream, I suppose. Ah, wait. I should tweet. Not tweet. I should ping the Discord and let them know I am streaming. Let me do that really quick. Discord. Here. Grab a copy of my link. Wait, how did that happen? Here we go. Everyone. There we go. I have linked the Discord. All right. Sorry for that delay. Now I'm ready to start. I really need to work on prepping this better before just starting to go. Okay. So here's where we're at right now. Marrow, Thumper, Chonk, Sparky, Zuko, Ugly Barnacle. What did I give Chonk as an item? Amulet coin. Oh, because money. Okay, that's fine. Who cares? If I recall correctly, I didn't have anything better to give him, so we'll just stick with that for now. Let's see here. Alright, so this is where we left off with... Oh, I probably should be careful because some of these trainer battles still haven't been triggered. Let's see what we've got in the front. We got Marrow in the front. Let's double check here what level the gym is. I think 25 is the gym leader's level, so I'd like to ideally be over 25 with all of my Pokemon. Pokemon X Gym 2. It's going to be the rock leader. 25, yes. Okay. So, we are gonna want to get our guys up quite a bit. Let's go and see what we can do here. Alright. Well, I mean, let's just start grinding. We can grind. I can yap. This might not be the best place to grind, though, because this is ghost ground. Do we really want to be fighting ground types? Pokemon, why would I ever... Hi, PJ, first of all. Second of all, why would I ever pick Pokemon Y? What does Pokemon Y have to offer me? Let's see here. Do I have anything that's good against Gala? I might just want to run. Bacon Bird. But I don't like Bacon Bird. Bacon Bird's mid. Give me the deer, bro. Give me the deer with the RGB antlers, for real. I'm gonna run from this battle. Okay, well that didn't work. That's not great. Can I please run from this battle? Please? Oh no. I swear to God. Okay. What am I gonna do here? Alright, I'm gonna have to Google some. Bacon Bird's fun, but yeah, but RGB Deer's fun as well. Heracross, that's facts, that's true. Because Pinsir is in this version, right? And I like Heracross better. Let's see. Gauntlet. Pokemon X. Sorry if you can hear me typing. My keyboard is immediately next to my microphone here. This one. Okay, so it takes extra from water, so we're gonna give Ugly Barnacle a go. I always forget that ground types take extra from poison. Not poison, I'm sorry, water, duh. I'm distracted. Ooh, that did a lot of damage. It was a critical. Okay, Ugly Barnacle, well, don't die. That would be really bad if you did. It would be, like, really, really bad. Okay, thank you. So, PJ, to get you caught up on where we are currently. Last Sunday was a day of tragedy. Absolutely awful things happened, aka, I lost 3 team members last Sunday. My Oddish died. Oddish died, Froakie died, and one other that I feel really bad that I can't remember. We've lost some soldiers. I guess my Frogadier, not Froakie, he had evolved. But it's really sad. I'm really bummed. The rock gym is about to be really awful because I literally just lost my starter water type. Oh, I remember what the other one was that I lost. My Charmander, my Charmeleon. Yes, we are grinding. Welcome in, Lego. Oddish is expendable. I liked Oddish, and I needed a grass type. Like, it was a good... not deposit. Sorry, I'm distracted, so I'm not paying attention to what buttons I'm clicking. No, yeah, it's... Wait, no, I just put... Okay, I did not lose Charmeleon. I just put Charmeleon in the box, because he's going to be useless for the Rock Gem. It was my Drifloon. That was the other one I lost. Urpel. So Olive, Urpel, and Georgie are all gone. Very sad. I'm not happy at all, especially right before the Rock Gym. It's absolutely brutal. So we're going to be spending the stream getting the levels up on our current party. I did the best I could with what I had to put something together for Rock, but genuinely not great options. But yeah, this is what we're working with right now. We're going to be doing some grinding, and that's going to be it for a bit. Gonna be working hard. Alright. Let's go for it here. We also have some trainer battles here I still haven't done. I can't remember who I have, though, and who I haven't. Maybe I went back and did them. I don't remember. Last stream was kind of a blur. I was in mourning. Alright. You know what? I probably could turn my mic's gain down a little bit. Hopefully the audio isn't too bad for what it's picking up. My mic is kind of notorious for picking up things like button clicks and shit. Play some Imagine Dragons when working out the Pokemon? Yes! The thing is I upload all of these to YouTube, and so I cannot be uploading copyrighted music in my videos. That, like, I'm pretty sure Twitch cracked down on that now, too. Ooh, this is scary. Ugh. Yeah. It's really tragic, but I can't really throw on any copyrighted music. Listen, I'm sorry, Pork Ribs. Binnacle is just not my vibe. I don't care for its design. And I just thought that the name was fitting. But honestly, it is kind of a mean name considering he is coming in clutch for me at the moment. Yeah, it's going to be a nightmare, but I guess I could go... Oh, this is not good. I didn't mean didn't want to get another encounter here. Fuck. Well, Binnacle, in this case, actually is not very expendable. He's currently my only water type that's gonna be any good for the... He's currently my only water type that's gonna be any good for the rock gym. Because I lost my water type starter, and the only other water type I currently have to use is Ducklet, which is part flying. So, not very good for a rock gym. I'm gonna really quick heal up my Binnacle. And then hopefully Marrow will survive that attack. Thank fucking God he did. And then we're gonna Barnacle. Yeah, true, but I don't have any other ground and steel types to pad out the team. So I have, I've got my Steelix. I've got my Steelix that will be able to do some work. And I've got my, Cubone. I don't know why my brain was saying Marowak instead of Cubone. I've got my Cubone that I can use, which will be good. I know that my Snorlax is probably not going to do a ton for me in the Rock-type battle. Oh, of course the wallet avoided the attack. Dude, this is, like, the worst. Please stop avoiding my attacks. Please just die. Alright, I'm gonna go heal up at the Pokemon Center, and then I'm gonna try to get out of this area, because I don't want to just fight Gollets. Because I know that that's what has the like, if I recall correctly, Gollet is, like, the primary spawn in this grassy area. And I think the other thing is, Sigilyph, I think is how you pronounce that thing's name. That one also spawns there, and neither of those are Pokemon I really want to fight. Yeah, the rock types will be good for that. But, yeah. Right now, we're just gonna work with this, what we got here. Because Amara is what? Is it? It's rock, ice, which is not super great for fighting with ground types, but I looked at the gym and it doesn't have any ice type moves that I could see. I suppose for the folks that weren't here earlier or weren't around last stream, I'll go ahead and show my party right now. I'm working with Marrow, our Cubone, Thumper, our Steelix, Chonk the Snorlax, Sparky the Pikachu, Zuko the Sandile, and Ugly Barnacle the Binnacle. I am focusing ground steel for this gym because Ugly Barnacle is currently my only water type, and I'm not going to rely purely on water for this rock gym. The only reason I'm using Binnacle as much as I am right now is because I've been running into a ton of Gollets, and it's currently the only Pokemon I have that's good against Gollet. I'm going to try to get down to the other grass, though, so I can fight with something that isn't just Binnacle, because I want to level up my other Pokemon. By the way, thank you all for hopping in and joining the stream today. I'm glad I actually remembered to ping the Discord this time. I'm really bad about doing that, but I actually remembered today. But I appreciate you all stopping by. It's nice having people to talk to, especially in the early streaming. Because normally when I start, I go for about 30, 45 minutes where I don't have anybody, so it's nice having people to talk to. Alright, we're going to come train down here. We're going to leave Marrow in the front for now, because he's still the lowest level. And we're going to work on getting our levels up. Houndour. Alright. Should be able to fight with our Cubone on this one, because if I remember correctly, fire is weak to ground? I could be completely wrong, though. It's a chill day? Yeah. I think I've talked about it a little bit on past streams, but Sundays are kind of like... Sundays are like both chill and not chill for me. It's kind of a combination. I have a new kind of Sunday routine where I start my day off by cleaning my apartment. Usually not like a super deep clean, because I try to keep it relatively clean during the week. But I just do stuff like vacuum, wipe down my counters. If there's any dishes left over that I haven't thrown in the dishwasher, I do that. I do laundry if I have any laundry. Today I'd already done it. Oh, a horde. Oh dear. That's interesting. I'm gonna maybe run from this, because I don't have anything that's gonna... I don't have anything that's like a... Wait, let me see this. Why did Nightbot delete that message? Oh, because you used all caps. I don't know why it did that. I might need to go and fix that. I added Nightbot to the chat so that I would be able to throw links in the chat at the end of stream, or if people wanted to have my socials. It's true, Nightbot is silencing you, Ribs. I added it to the chat so that people could do exclamation point links, I think was it? Let me double check if that's what I used as my links. Yeah, there it is. Ribs is being silenced for real. Yeah, I added Nightbot so that I would be able to do exclamation point links, so if people wanted access to my socials or the Discord, they would be able to access that. Because before, at the end of stream, I would just be like, hey guys, if you're interested, just look me up. And it's a lot easier if I can just say, exclamation point link in chat will get you access to all of that. So, I went through after the last stream and set that up so it'd be ready to go. Okay, Marrow, you need to come out of there. Let's give Zuko a shot. But yeah, my Sunday routine now is I get up and Stubble's a fairy type now, isn't it? So I'm guessing that Bite and Assurance aren't going to do much for me. I clean my apartment. I go out and grocery shop. It's really just it really is just a day where I do all of my adult chores. I clean, I get groceries, and then today I had the extra added fun chore of filing my taxes. Woo! So fun. I love being an adult. It's so great. But yeah, at least it's done. Oh yeah, ew is real. But the thing that's nice is at least I'm gonna be getting a decent tax return because I made like no money last year. And a fun fact, if you make like basically no money, that means you will get a decent sized tax return because they're gonna give you back everything they took because you're broke. So that's exciting. And I also am going to be getting paid next week, which is sick. Love getting paid. Getting paid's great. The only thing that sucks is, then what's the point of paying them? They're automatically deducted from my paychecks every month. So I don't really, it's not like a thing where I'm actively going and paying the tax. It's like my taxes are automatically taken from my paycheck, and then I get it all back when I file my taxes. It's just I don't know why they do it like that, but that is in fact how they do it, at least if you're filing with TurboTax. But yeah, did taxes, very fun and cool. Yep, exciting stuff. And then I had a coffee, good, love that. But it's also why I'm a little bit scatterbrained right now. I don't know, every stream I drink caffeine, and then every stream I'm scatterbrained and a little all over the place because I drink caffeine. But I don't know, man, caffeine's good, it's tasty, I like it. But yeah, I filed those, went to Aldi, absolutely goated grocery store. God dang it, another horde. I don't want to deal with hordes right now. I don't have any moves to do it. Okay, cool. Honestly, Aldi it's great. I was gonna say it's underrated, but I'm guessing based off of the crowd of people that was there today, it's not underrated. There's actually like a ton of people there. I actually had to stand in line for like 15 minutes to check out after I got all my groceries. Which was, you know, it wasn't the end of the world, but I mean, it took a while, but it's worth it because it's so much cheaper. I mean, shit. I got, let's see, I got bananas, ground turkey, because I don't really eat beef very much anymore. I got lunch meat, cheese, bread, sour cream, eggs, And I got all of that shit for like 20 bucks. It's just so cheap to go there, honestly. I don't know why I didn't go there more when I was in college. Because when I was in college, I was like, I made way less money than I do right now because my job, while I really liked it, it didn't pay anything. It was really not a good paying job. The only reason I kept that job was because while it didn't pay very well, it also, I was able to do homework while I was there because it was a desk job. And if there wasn't anything to do, I could just like do homework instead. And if I had a job where I could get paid to do my homework, like, I'm not going to give that up. But it did not pay well. And so I don't know why I never went to Aldi in undergrad. I do now. I love it. I don't remember who put me on Aldi, but I go there all the time. It's like a weekly thing I do now. I do most of my shopping. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind my job, honestly. I'm working in a lab right now, and I really like working there. Some days are better than others, though. Tomorrow's gonna suck. I'm not looking forward to that. But, because tomorrow's gonna be a really long day. That's like the one downside. Lab bat? Yeah. I avoided the attack. That's annoying. It's a good job. Pays me well. I don't have to drive very far, which is nice. My last job, I had to drive. My commute was like 30 to 45 minutes, depending on traffic. And my current job is like a 10-minute commute, so it's significantly better. I really like it. Like, don't get me wrong, there are some downsides to working where I'm at, but I honestly really like it. It's a really good position for me at the moment. And it pays better than my last job, too. So not only am I saving a ton of money every week by not having to constantly fill up on gas, which gas here is so expensive. But not only am I not having to spend as much money on gas, but I'm also getting paid more. So it's a much better situation for me. The one thing that does suck is it's the first job I've had in a very long time where it's not a weekly pay schedule. I used to get paid weekly. Now I get paid bi-monthly, so twice a month I get paid. And that is an adjustment. So it means I have to, especially since, like, I technically went from getting paid every week to when I switched jobs, I didn't get paid for the first 2 weeks because, you know, you have to wait until, like... So I started my job at the beginning of the month, and let's say that the pay date was the 15th. Well, you're getting paid for the previous 2 weeks on the 15th, and I hadn't worked the full 2 weeks by the time the first payday rolled up. So I didn't get paid the first 2 weeks, which means I've got a little bit of catching up to do with pay, which should hopefully come this month. But it's gonna be a little tight for paying rent this month. I'll afford it fine, but I'm gonna have to be taking it easy on unnecessary expenses for sure. A much lighter note, I actually did something really cool yesterday. I went to an entomology conference yesterday. That was wicked fun. That was so fun. I'm not an entomologist, but I do think insects are very interesting. So I signed up to do this conference thing, and it ruled. It was so fun. We had some really fantastic presentations. Honestly, one of the presentations they did at this conference was over how attitudes towards insects have changed over the years and how you can view that by looking at trading cards that used to be given out with cigarette packs. Because, you know, back in the day, like the 1900s, they would give trading cards with cigarette packs at stores to incentivize people to come back and buy cigarettes from that store. And honestly, like, some of the art was really cool, and it made me think about, like, obviously trading cards made me think about Pokemon trading cards. I love those. I buy those all the time when I can. There's a bit of a drought right now with cards. But, honestly, it has me, like, thinking if I ever was given the opportunity to do a presentation at an event like that, which, you know, is not completely out of the question because they do allow just hobbyists to give presentations. I might someday, like, do a presentation over how media like Pokemon or Animal Crossing introduces people to insects in a much more like fun and positive way. Because obviously, bug Pokemon are great, and Animal Crossing does incentivize you to catch insects. Though I will say Animal Crossing, specifically New Horizons, does get dinged with the fact that Blathers is very negative about insects, which is not a good look for that. But I don't know. It's got me thinking about doing something like that in the future, because I think it'd be an interesting topic to delve into, like how video games or just other modern media use insects for inspiration, and how it kind of introduces insects to people in a very like cool, non-scary way. Because insects are very often depicted as like creepy and scary, or will hurt you. Like people are like, oh, you know, insects bite and are venomous or will give you diseases, and it's like, well, yeah, some of them, but most of them are just friendly little guys. Like, I'm a very big fan of giant millipedes, which most people are really icked out by, which I think is so funny, because I don't know, I think they're really cute. They are vegetarian, they're herbivorous, so they're not gonna bite you. They're just very curious little guys. I've held one that was about, he wasn't like super massive, but he was about probably the length of my forearm. And he was so cool. I loved him. I've also held Madagascar hissing cockroaches, and they're honestly just really chill. They just kind of sit there. They vibe. I don't know. I think bugs are cool. I think bugs get a bad rap, and I think people should appreciate bugs more. Which is kind of an ironic thing for me to be saying, considering how much I've complained about getting a lot of bug Pokemon in this run. In my defense, though, I love bug Pokemon as a concept, but in practice, they are not really a good type to be playing with. For folks that weren't around for my first couple of streams, my first 3 Pokemon in the game were... My very first one was a Scatterbug. Was not pleased. I don't like Scatterbug. It's actually one of my least favorite bug types. Not you. Thumper's a higher level, though. Let's do Zuko. Scatterbug was one of the first ones I got. Wasn't for me. I don't like Scatterbug very much. Just because, I don't know, that line has never done anything for me. What the hell? That did so much damage! Okay, we're gonna fucking put Snorlax in to deal with this Snubbull. Why did that... Dude, that was ridiculous. A critical hit headbutt like that was nuts. But... Excuse me. Alright, let's see here. Let's use this. Oh yeah, I forgot. I probably could... I honestly forgot that I probably could use, Snorlax in the battle pretty easily as well, because I forgot that he has Rock Smash. Which, that's super effective against rock types, isn't it? Fighting? Let me Google that. I'm so bad with remembering types, I really need to get better at it. I'm lacking. When I was a kid, I used to be such an encyclopedia of Pokemon weaknesses, and I've just gotten so bad about it. Alright, it is. Perfect. That's excellent. Just what I wanted to hear. I was gonna say, surely a move fucking called Rock Smash would be good against rock Pokemon. I'd be, like, annoyed if it wasn't. I really need to do better. I think that part of the reason I've kind of gotten so bad about remembering type weaknesses is, you know, if you don't, like, practice stuff like that, your skills kind of atrophy over time. And with a lot of the newer games, just, like, telling you when things are effective... Like, why did I go in here? I want the Pokemon Center. With a lot of the newer games telling you what moves are super effective or not very effective or neutral, you just don't really get in the habit of remembering off the top of your head. So obviously I know, like, the basics. Like, obviously, like, fire, grass, water, electric weaknesses. All the, like, really easy ones are good. I know those. And I can usually remember fairy as well, and flying most of the time as well. But, I don't know. Just over time, I've gotten kind of bad at remembering what's good against what. I really should practice more. Child me would be ashamed of how far I've fallen. Because when I was a kid, I was obsessed with being, like, the Pokemon. Like, I don't know. When I was a kid, I was really... there were a couple of things that I thought would be really cool if I was in the Pokemon world. I thought it'd be really cool if I was like a water type gym leader. I really liked Misty, and I thought it would be cool to be like her. I also thought Dawn was cool, and doing Pokemon contests was cool, and so I kind of wanted to be like her. But then, as I got a little older, I was like, actually, the really cool thing are the professors. The professors are the sickest, because they know all about the Pokemon. They know everything. And I was like, I should be like the professors, and know everything about Pokemon, and just be a walking Pokemon encyclopedia. So I bought one of those, like, giant Pokemon guidebooks. I believe the one I bought was for Heart Gold, Soul Silver. And I just went through it, memorizing as much stuff as I could about all of the Pokemon that were in that generation. And so anytime I was hanging out with my friends and we were either doing Pokemon battles or like stuff like that, with the, I believe it was DSs, because cards, they tell you the weaknesses and resistance on the cards, so it's not necessary. But for like the game itself, oh, Sparky's learning Slam, huge. That's like not bad. Let's see here. Thunder Wave, I want to keep probably. Electro Ball. Quick Attack's really good, though. Honestly, I think I'm going to skip Slam, because I want to keep Quick Attack. It doesn't do that much damage, but it going first is kind of awesome. And Slam only has, like, 75% accuracy, and that's, like, not that good. Ooh, lots of level ups that time around. That's awesome. But, yeah, I used to just be, all my friends would always come to me and ask me questions about them, because I would just constantly read Pokemon books. It was, like, my favorite thing. How far I have fallen. I still have all my old books, though. Very cool. They're fun collector's items to have, though I do wish child me had taken better care of them. Because when I was a kid, I used to just buy everything that had Pokemon on it, including magazines. The thing that sucks is I had a really cool Pokemon magazine that was for, I don't remember what year, but it was for one of the Pokemon, like, anniversaries. And it was really cool, like, edition. And I had brought it one time with me to, when I was, like, little, obviously my parents put me in, like, a childcare service over the summer because they both worked and I was too young to stay home by myself. And I brought it with me while I was there, and some kids stole it out of my backpack and cut out all the pictures with scissors. So it got ruined. Very sad. Absolutely tragic. I had a lot of nasty shit happen to my stuff when I went to that place. Like, I have a Dialga level X card that's absolutely fucked because I took my Pokemon cards there all the time. There's a Sigilyph. I used to take my Pokemon cards with me all the time because my friends and I would battle and trade. And Sigilyph is flying psychic? Sigilyph. Yeah, psychic flying. So I probably could use Sparky in this battle. But yeah, I brought that card with me in my binder. Do not bone. I will not bone the Sigilyph. I will be switching to Sparky because he's, well, yeah. Actually, does Thumper know any rock type moves? Because I could use rock instead. Yeah, I'll switch to Thumper instead. I will not bone it. Boning it's a bad idea. They will not go well for me. Thumper will do well though. But yeah, I took my binder of cards with me to play with my friends, and yeah, it's fun, but is it though? Because it's just gonna get me killed. Because ground attacks won't do anything against this goober. But yeah, I took my binder of cards with me, and some kid stole my Dialga level X and tried to hide that he stole it by folding it in half and putting it in his pocket. So the card was ruined. I still have the card because I obviously found out and took it. But, yeah, the card's completely destroyed. Like, if you were gonna get that thing graded, it would get like a TSA 1. PSA 1. TSA's the airplane people. Why did I say... Yeah, I know I can bone it now, but what's the point of switching out, you know? Why did I say TSA? PSA. It would get a PSA 1 if I ever sent it in to get graded. It's in terrible shape. Like, a lot of my old cards are not in great shape because when I was a kid, I played them, so they're all pretty heavily played, quality-wise. But that one is just completely fucked up. It's just ruined. Okay. I'm gonna heal up my guys really quick. And then I'm gonna take a quick break to use the restroom. I know I'm only 35 minutes into stream, but I'm gonna take a quick restroom break. So, once I finish healing up my guys here. Alright. I will be right back. Give me like 5 minutes. Alright, I am back. Thank you for your patience. Alrighty. So, we're gonna go keep grinding up. What was I talking about? My old cards, my Pokemon cards. It is kind of a bummer because that I played them so heavily when I was a kid, because, like, I know that's the point of a Pokemon card, is to play it. But now that I'm a collector, I would, like, really love to have a lot of those vintage cards be in good condition. But, like near mint would be ideal. But, like, even, like, lightly played would be better. Having them be heavily played is kind of tragic. Because I have a lot of cards that are worth... Eevee! Aww. I'm so sad I didn't catch an Eevee on this route. I would have preferred it to Houndour. Because Eevee would be, like, super useful in this playthrough. And I also just really like Eevee. Like, controversial opinion. I know Pikachu is, like, the mascot of the series. But Eevee being the second mascot is kind of hype, because I think Eevee is really cute. But, yeah, like, now that I'm a collector, I just really wish I would have taken better care of them. I take really good care of my cards now. But avoided the attack. Oh, come on. Why does it keep trying to use refresh? It's not... It doesn't have a condition that would work. Like, obviously I take very good care of my cards now. Honestly, like, I'm extremely anal about it. I, like, don't touch the... Like, if I ever pull a good card, like, not necessarily a holographic, because holographics are worth nothing these days. Which, that's controversial opinion. I don't like... Some of the things about the new card format, I just don't care for. And that's one of them. I don't like that there's a holo in every pack. It makes holos feel not special at all. It's kind of like, oh cool, I just pulled a very basic card and I don't care about it. It's like, getting a holo is like pulling a Weedle these days, because it's just not worth much for collectability or anything. Like, yeah, battle-wise, they're probably decent, but I don't have anyone to play Pokemon cards with, so I never battle with my cards. I really wish I did. Honestly, I might get into the Pokemon card on, like, Pokemon trading card online game. Though they recently reworked it. I used to play it all the time. I actually had a couple... Back when I used to upload a couple years ago, I used to... Horde Yanma! I actually used to, I'm gonna run from this battle. Okay, great, awesome. Well, at least they do, like, no damage. But, I used to play the old Pokemon trading card game online. I played it for a couple of YouTube videos. I thought it was fun. But then they reworked it now, so you can't battle NPCs. You can only battle... Oh my god, this is gonna take forever because they're all gonna have speed boost. I hate these Yanma battles. I forgot about this. These are so annoying. Please let me run. Oh my god. Okay, I'm just gonna have to fight them. It's fine. But yeah, I like the old Pokemon TCG Online, but the new one doesn't let you fight NPCs. You have to battle other players online, which means that the game is a lot slower and also feels almost higher stakes, because losing to an NPC is like, yeah, whatever, it's fine. It's still annoying, but it's whatever. Losing to another player, for some reason, is more embarrassing to me. So I just don't like... I would rather play against NPCs while I'm still kind of an amateur. That and, on the old Pokemon TCG Online game, I had bought a battle deck that I really liked using, and I did not have that carry over to the new Pokemon TCG Online. So I don't get to play with my favorite deck anymore. And the pre-built decks that they offer you for free are mid as hell, and I don't really want to use them. So I don't know, maybe I'll pick it up again someday, but I'm not the biggest fan. Are Yanmegas just bug, or are they bug flying? Not Yanmega, Yanma. Let me look that up. Bug flying. Okay, so rock type, not rock type, rock smash is not gonna do much for me then. Okay. Tackle might be enough, honestly, because Snorlax hits heavy, and also, these are, like, 11 levels, or sorry, 12, 13 levels lower than my Snorlax, so hopefully that should one hit. Alright, cool. It's still gonna be a lengthy battle, unfortunately, but at least I can, like, take him out when one hit. But yeah. I mostly just collect the cards now. I'd love to actually play the game, but I don't know anyone who wants to play the game. I've tried convincing my friends. I'm like, look, I'll even provide you the cards, but they're like, no, we don't want to play. And so they'll play Magic the Gathering, but they won't play Pokemon. Lame. Lame as hell. Bunch of goobers, all of them. I'm talking shit about Magic, but I actually have played Magic as well. I like card games. I don't know. TCGs are fun for me. I played Magic a few times when I was in high school. Cause you know, I was so cool in high school. I was on the Quiz Bowl team, and all the Quiz Bowl kids played Magic at the tournaments. So I would play Magic. Cause you know, as if I couldn't be nerdier, I was playing Magic the Gathering at Quiz Bowl tournaments. So, you know, thrilling. But, oh, what was I gonna say? Shoot, I keep losing my train of thought. Yeah, so I've played Magic. It's fine. I won't hate on people for playing it. I would say that it's not really the card game for me, because Magic, from what I've been told from people I know that are way more into Magic than I am, the value from Magic cards doesn't always necessarily come from collectability like it does from Pokemon. It's mostly affected by how valuable the cards are in play. Which, don't get me wrong, Pokemon cards can also be affected price-wise or collectability-wise by their use in play. Like it was Tapu Lele, I think, had a level X card or GX card for a while that was very expensive. Like very expensive as far as cards go. It was like $30. It wasn't anything insane, but it was still like pretty decently expensive for a GX card because most GXs are worth about $5. Or at least they used to be. I don't know how the rarity has been affected now that they don't print them anymore. But Pokemon, like Tapu Lele GX used to be like a pretty valuable card because of its playability. It wasn't necessarily rare, but it was really good for the competitive card game. And since a lot of people in the competitive scene were using it, its price was a lot higher just because it was more valuable for play. Which, of course, that went away very quickly after they started mass printing it in battle decks so that people could access it for play. So it used to go for about $30, $35, and now it probably goes for about $5 again. I'm not sure how that's been affected now that they aren't printed, but the value dropped pretty significantly after they started printing them for play. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, honestly. When it comes to collectability, I obviously don't want them to reprint cards like crazy because as a collector, it significantly lowers the value of the collection, like the collectability of the card if they mass print it. But if it's a card that's literally only valuable because it's good for play, then I don't super care that they're mass printing it because it wasn't even valuable for its collectability in the first place. I mean, yeah, it is kind of a bummer because I have a Tapu Lele card that I pulled when they were worth like $30, but I don't sell my collection because I'm a collector. I don't sell shit. They're for me. They're mine. But, like, it still is kind of a bummer to see your card's value drop retroactively. It's kind of, it did bum me out a little bit, but it wasn't the worst. Bone Meringue. Alright, another ground type move. Let's freaking go. Get the hell out of here, Tailwhip. No one's ever gonna use that. Sorry about that, I had to take a drink. I keep yapping, so my mouth is dry. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Magic the Gathering just isn't as fun for collecting as for me. Don't get me wrong, there are some cards in Magic that are really cool. Most of the value comes from the playability, and that's just not the kind of scene I'm interested in. The game's fun. It's just not a game I would ever collect. I love collecting Pokemon cards, though. I'll never shut up about that. I love Pokemon cards. I fucking love Pokemon cards. My collection's worth a decent bit of money, but I'm not gonna sell them ever. Never selling my Pokemon cards. I love my Pokemon cards. Like, I think last time I went on TCG Collector, I think it might... How much is my collection worth? Okay. I'm going to take a quick tangent pause, because I want to see how much... I want to remember how much my collection's worth on TCG Collector. Let me look. Which is... It's not even fully updated, because I actually found Pokemon cards at the store the other day, which, shit, that's not common at all. Fucking nowadays. But... Do I not signed in here? I could have sworn I was already signed into TCG Collector on this computer. Okay. So, here. Do I want to stream this window? I could. I don't think there's anything here that's going to be revealing, per se. Yeah, as long as I am careful with what I'm doing, I should be fine to stream this. Wait, not browser source. Ignore that. I'm gonna make this a scuff stream really quick, don't worry about it. Let's see here. Specific window, TCG Collector, yes. So, this is my current TCG Collector status. As you can see, I'm a pro gamer. I have a lot of cards. Got almost 3,500 cards in my collection. Worth about 4K. I've been collecting for a long time. Yeah, I fucking love Pokemon cards, man. I love cards. But that's my collection, to give you an idea of where I'm at value-wise. I will now be turning that off and resuming my Pokemon play. Sorry for the tangent. But yeah, my shit's worth money. Am I gonna sell them? No, never. I have a card that's worth like $400, but that's my card worth $400. It's not someone else's, it's for me. I'm quite proud of my collection, though. I want to expand it further. It's just, I think I've mentioned this a billion times on stream, probably. I have such terrible memory. I have no idea what I said last week. But, I just really want to be able to buy more cards, but it's such a terrible market right now. Because people have been scalping like crazy. The same thing, this is not a new problem. The same thing happened a few years back. I don't remember specifically what set it was for. But if I recall correctly, it was the set that had the really cool Evolution full art cards that were worth a ton of money. People scalped those like fucking crazy. I just used Rock Smash. Why'd I do that? Why am I fighting some- what am I doing? Why am I a goober? I'm dumb. I should have been fighting it with the Steelix, not just. What am I- bruh. I need to pay attention to what I'm doing, or I'm gonna get a Pokemon killed. Ouch. Yeah, like, when that set came out, people were going fucking crazy for it, and so it got scalped like crazy. And then the same thing's happening again. I honestly don't even know why. Like, I think they released a new set that was like I don't even know if I've seen the set list for it, so I don't even know what the cards in that set looked like. I didn't want to torture myself by looking at what cards were in the set, because I literally can't get the set anywhere. So I was like, I'm not gonna bother looking up how much this is worth, because, or what cards are in it, because it's just gonna make me sad. But I don't know why it went so crazy, but people were nuts for it. And now you can't get cards anywhere. Target sold out, Walmart sold out, my local game store is sold out. Like, yeah, you can buy them online probably, but they're going to be scalped like crazy, so you're gonna be paying way more than they're worth. I was actually talking to a friend of mine the other day, and she was saying that because she kind of casually collects cards, she just buys them on occasion because she likes the art. And she was telling me, she was like, yeah, I'm thinking about buying some more Pokemon cards, but I don't know. And I was like, good luck finding them. And she was like, well, wait. And she looked them up, like, she was like, even online? I was like, yeah, online, they're probably going to be way too expensive. So she looked them up, and she asked me, she was like, what's the average value for a pack? I was like, you shouldn't be paying more than $5 for a pack. And she was like, okay, well, I'm not going to buy any right now then. Because they're just, the prices are crazy. It's kind of stupid, but it is what it is. I'm glad that a lot of places are starting to enforce buying limits again, because they fucking need to. Honestly, not to be mean, but I'm kind of the opinion that they should be enforcing buying limits 24/7. It's kind of crazy that they don't. Because so many people will do that. They'll just go in and buy all of them and leave nothing for anyone else. Though I will say, I mean, I actually have been stopped in my tracks by the buying limit once. Because when I actually managed to catch a restock at my local game store, I wanted to buy, I think I was going to buy 3 packs. And I was stopped. I had to only buy 2. I'm not going to ever use this attack. Yeah, forget. Keep old moves. Excuse me. That was gross. But yeah. How's everybody in the chat been doing today? How's everyone's Sunday going? Yeah, I saw that. I kind of want them to try doing that with Pokemon as well. Like, they just pull up a picture of a Pokemon and say, what is its name? And maybe even, what does this evolve into? Because most Pokemon fans who collect the cards and merchandise, they're gonna know the name of things. At least, I don't know. I think they should at least know the name of things. And they can't do something like Eevee or Pikachu, because that's like a fucking given. Like, they can't do some like crazy obscure poll, but they also can't do something like Charizard, because that's just ridiculous. Everyone's gonna know that. The thing that I think would make it a little bit more difficult with Pokemon is because since their names are kind of... The names of Pokemon aren't quite the same as Gunpla, because with Gunpla, they, like... I don't know. I feel like the names of Gunpla are a little bit harder to, like, just say off the top of your head. Whereas, like, with Pokemon, most of the names in English are puns or combinations of words that most people know, or are very easy to say because they're written phonetically. And so, I feel like it wouldn't work as well in English. If you don't know Bruxus, you ain't getting these cards! I'm trying to think of what would be, like, a really good one for a test like that. Because, like, what would be a Pokemon that has a name that is kind of hard to pronounce? Honestly, like, would it be mean if I said you had to be able to name Sigilyph off the top of your head to get some Pokemon cards? Would that be mean? Is Sigilyph too obscure? Because it's like, it's a Pokemon that... The Dunsparce would be a good one. Also true. I like the Dunsparce. Though I will say, I do think it's very funny that the Dunsparce is literally just... You get more segments by evolving your Dunsparce. And I do like the mechanic that there's, like, you can get the different... Like, you can get different lengths of them, and some lengths are rarer than others. Because, you know, being someone who likes collecting and being someone who likes rare things... I thought that was a fun mechanic. I do kind of wish that it had more to it, though. Because I like it when they take old Pokemon and give them cool evolutions. Like, I really like that they gave Stantler an evolution. I love Stantler. I've always been a Stantler truther. I love Stantler. I've always thought it was such a fun Pokemon. And when they gave it an evolution with Weirdeer, I was like, let's fucking go. Stantler love. This is great. I like that they did that with, oh, why can't I think of it off the top of my head? Girafarig! I like that they did Farigiraf. I think that's so fun and cute and cool, and I like that. And I want them to do that more, with more, like, kind of fun, obscure Pokemon. Another big one for me that I really liked was, oh, what's it called? I like that they brought back, Volcanora, the, fire moth Pokemon from Gen 5. I like that they brought that back and made Slitherwing. I love Slitherwing. I want a Slitherwing plush and or figurine so bad, but they don't fucking ever sell stuff for Slitherwing. It's tragic. The agony of being someone who loves Pokemon that are kind of obscure is that you just never get merch for the Pokemon you want. It's really sad. Like, dude, I love Swadloon. Swadloon is probably my favorite Pokemon of all time. And I can't fucking get merch of that boy anywhere. He's never available. Because, like, he's just not a super well-known Pokemon. And I find him adorable, and I think he is the perfect Pokemon for a plushie because of just how he's built. And they have made a couple. He has a Sitting Cutie one, but it's been out of stock for ages, and apparently the Gen 5 Sitting Cuties never get restocks. Or at least they get very rare restocks, and then they sell out because, you know, when something doesn't restock very often, then it finally does. People buy all of them. But they also did a Pokemon, I guess, what's the plush called? It's like a mochi plush or something like that. It's kind of like the same texture as, like, if you've ever held a Squishmallow plushie. There's, like, that softer outer layer with the really squishy polyfill stuffing. I guess it's probably not polyfill, but the really squishy stuffing that's, like, different than polyfill. They made one of those, and it was, like, big. And I thought about buying it, but at the time I was still in undergrad and college, and I made like no money at my job. And I was like, and it was only available in Japan. So if you wanted to buy it in America, you had to buy it from a website that was reselling it for American audiences, which meant it was just going to be more expensive no matter what. And it also, if you weren't buying it that way, you had to buy it and then pay like a ton of money for shipping because it was being shipped from Japan. So international shipping, and it was the international shipping. Oh, a Mulga. That's one you don't see very often. Is a Mulga mono-electric? I can never remember. Let's look at this little dude. Electric flying. I'm glad I checked, because that means that my ground type moves are not going to be good. I thought that was maybe the case, seeing as it literally flies in its animation. Why did my controller quit working? What the fuck? What the hell? Okay, there it goes. Thank God. Okay, good. We are still trucking. Okay, sorry. I had a mini heart attack there for a second, because if my controller quit working, that means I would have to restart my game, and that would be a problem, because I would lose all my progress. I don't think I've saved since I last healed. Did I save? I don't know. I'll save after this battle. What was I talking about before? Oh, the Pokemon plush. The thing that really sucks about it is if I would have bought that Pokemon plushie at the time, like, yeah, it was relatively expensive, and yeah, I would have had to have it shipped overseas, but it would have cost me like 60 bucks. You cannot find that plushie anywhere now for less than 120. Like, you can't hardly ever find it, and when you do find it, it's expensive as shit. And it sucks. I really am kicking myself for not buying that, because it's like one of the only good plushies they've made of that Pokemon, and you just can't get it anywhere anymore. Ooh, Dragon Rage is kind of like peak. Let's see here. Stealth Rock or Rage, what am I getting rid of? What am I going to use less? Honestly, I feel like I'll use Rage less. Stealth Rock would be a nice setup to throw out for this next battle to deal some extra damage to the Pokemon before they even get out in the field. That'd be kind of a nice move to have on hand. Oh, I'm gonna save really quick. But yeah, it's a bummer. A lot of the Pokemon I love don't get plushies. It's tragic. If I ever went to Japan, I would go broke, because Japan actually, like, has a lot more plushes than are sold in the US. I would go to the Pokemon Center at Tokyo Skytree, and I would go fucking broke. I would have no money. I would have no money left, but it would be worth. I want to go to Japan so bad. Japan would be such a cool place to visit. Partly because I'm a weeb, and I love anime, and I love Pokemon, and shit like that. But also partly because Japan is a really beautiful place. They have fantastic architecture. They have really unique ecosystems and like plants there. Going in like plum blossom season or cherry blossom season would be so cool. Cause I'm a photographer. I do some photography in my spare time. Not good like professional photography, but like decent photography. Mostly of plants and animals, because that's my favorite stuff. But it'd be so cool to go and do some photography in Japan. It'd be really fun. Someday, I'll dream of it. But not for a long time, because I'm about to go to school for... I'm about to be in school for 2 more years, and I have student loans to pay. So, it will have to just be a dream for the future. But it would be really nice to be able to go visit there sometime. Honestly, there's a lot of places I'd love to go visit. I don't even have a passport, though. Japan would be really cool. Europe would be cool. Specifically, Italy, Germany. I have a friend that's in Italy right now, I am so fucking wicked jealous. I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm so jealous that he got to go to Italy. He's been sending pictures all week. I'm gonna beat him up for going to Italy because I'm jealous. Like, yeah, good for him. I'm glad he had fun, but fuck you. I wanted to go too. I want to go to Italy. It sounds fun as hell. If anyone in chat is a Custodians watcher, which I know, Interdimensional Pork Ribs, I know that you watch them. Rhett has been on vacation, and I am so jealous. Ooh, that did a lot of damage. That's unfortunate. Hey, Zuko, get the fuck out of there. Let's throw in Barnacle. But yeah, I'm wicked jealous that he got to go to Italy. I want to go do that. By the way, no one answered my question. How's everyone's Sunday going? I am interested to hear. I did not mean to click that. God damn it. Everyone been enjoying their very chill Sunday? Should be working. Are you working on like work or are you working on schoolwork? What is the work that should be doing done that is not being done? Homework? Yeah. I trust me, I get it. I would procrastinate homework a lot in undergrad, and I'm sure that I'm going to be procrastinating homework a lot in grad. Some things never change. One thing I think I'm going to have to do for myself eventually is when I get back into graduate studies, which is going to be here in how long? May? No, not May. August. I'll be starting school again. And when that happens, I think what I'm going to have to do for myself is impose a rule where I just have to stay at school from 9 to 5. Because I know that if I go back to my apartment and I have access to all my video games and books and television, I will just simply not do my homework. And for doing a graduate degree, I really need to be on top of getting my shit done and not procrastinating it too much, or I'm going to make my life hell. Because I'm going to be responsible not only for my own work, but for grading other people's work, because graduate students are required to, like, TA for other undergraduate courses. So I need to make sure I'm staying on top of my shit. But I don't have to worry about that for several more months. I get to enjoy being someone who only works and then has tons of free time for a while. I'll be honest, like, I think people kind of shit on just working all the time. And I could get it. Working a 9 to 5 job is not easy, and I very often am exhausted by the time I get off of work and go home. But, like, honestly, I think it's kind of underrated. I kind of, like, I'm looking forward to pursuing a graduate degree. It's something I've wanted to do for a while, so I'm glad to be going back to school. But at the same time, being out of school and just being able to go home at the end of every day and not do homework is kind of awesome. And I don't know, maybe me having done law school for a year is affecting my perspective on this, because law school is just so overwhelming. But I don't know, I kind of love working like 9 to 5, because that means when I'm done working, I'm tired, yeah, but I get to go home and I have like my whole evening free. And it's awesome. I don't have to ever worry about homework. I don't have to worry about an exam coming up during the week. I just have to get up and go to work the next day. And I think that's kind of awesome. Like, I don't know. I like my 9 to 5. But I'm someone who has to have work to keep themselves busy, or else I go crazy. I don't know. I'm kind of weird for that, I think. Because there's a lot of people I know that wish they didn't have, they work and they get their jobs and they don't mind their jobs, but if they had the option to, like, not work every day, they would, like, very easily pick that. And I don't know, for me, I kind of need a job to fill my time. I'm a person who can't really have too much downtime. It's, like, really detrimental to my mental health to not have things to do. And so for me, working a 9 to 5 is actually, like, extremely good for me. it's also something that gets me out of the house, because I'm not gonna lie, if I had the option to not leave my house, a lot of times I wouldn't. And that's not good. I really should go outside. I need to touch grass. Oh, nose pass. Honestly, the grinding's going pretty quick. I think we're definitely gonna be able to get to the gym this stream. I'm gonna try to get out of this nose pass battle. I don't want to deal with this. I gotta tell you, this is complete topic change, but I'm just thinking about it because it's on my mind. I, obviously with picking up streaming again, I'm live streaming on Twitch, but I also want to post some stuff to YouTube. So I've been posting all my VODs there and everything. Excuse me. But, I want to start doing some edited content again. So I've been, like, taking my live streams that I've been doing here and doing some editing to post them to YouTube as like a shorter form series so that people who aren't interested in watching 3 hours of me rambling can still see my Pokemon Nuzlocke. And I have to say, I'm still not a huge fan of editing. Editing is something that, like, I can do, but I have very short patience for, so I can do it for like an hour and then I have to stop because it gets too much for me. Especially since I'm editing really, really long videos, and that means I have to just constantly watch clips, find things that are relevant to stay in, put them in the timeline, etc. Like, it's very time consuming, and it's the kind of thing where you can't really listen to podcasts or music or something while you work on it because you need to be able to hear what you're working on. So it still isn't my favorite thing. But it is so much easier now that I'm using an editing software that doesn't fucking crash every 5 minutes. Like, it's crazy. It's insane. The editing software I used to use was horrible. And I never realized how awful it was until I started using this new editing software that my friend Rhett recommended to me. It's so much better. It's kind of insane. I've been using it, to work on the video that I'm working on, and it's, like, actually not that bad. I'm actually making pretty decent progress on it. Which I'll probably work on that a little bit after stream today, but I also have... I have commitments with friends this evening. I'm currently, in a commitment with my friends where every Sunday we watch something. Which is good, because I very rarely watch things, so it's keeping me on consuming media. What we're supposed to be doing is, Steins Gate Sunday, where we watch Steins Gate every Sunday, cause Steins Gate is fucking good. We just finished normal Steins Gate, except for the last episode. We're watching it, and, like, I don't super know how the order works, because it's another friend that's kind of coordinating all of the Steins Gate watching. But we watched just plain old Steins Gate all the way up until the second to last episode. We have not watched the very last episode yet. And now we are watching Steins Gate 0, which we're only, I believe, 2 episodes in, maybe 3. Because we watched 2 episodes the first week. The second week, we couldn't watch Steins Gate because one of our friends couldn't make it. So we watched a different anime instead called Pluto. It's like apparently an Astro Boy based anime, but it's actually like really interesting. If you've never seen it, highly recommend. It's very emotional though, so be emotionally prepared for some very sad shit. But it's like good. The art style is pleasant. The story is nice. The characters are fun. It's honestly a super interesting show. So I would recommend that one for sure. I think it's kind of obscure because I'd never heard of it till my friend told me about it, but it's good. So, yeah, it's an adaptation of an arc from Astro Boy. Which I would never have guessed it was Astro Boy, if I didn't know going into it. Which, then again, I know very little about Astro Boy. Wrote it for the anime's 40th anniversary. Really? I did not know that. That's cool. Like I said, I don't know much about Astro Boy in general. I only am vaguely familiar. Like, obviously, I know what Astro Boy looks like because Astro Boy is such an iconic figure. And I know that I'm fairly certain that the same guy who did the Astro Boy manga was this Tezuka, who did Kimba the White Lion. Pretty sure is the same person, I think. I might be wrong, hopefully not. Yes? Okay, cool. I'm honestly more familiar with Kimba the White Lion and Dororo. I see. I'm honestly more familiar with Kimba the White Lion than I am with any other Tezuka things, just because when I was younger in high school, I say when I was younger, God, I feel old because I say that about high school. When I was in high school, my freshman year, I think, a couple of my friends that I would hang out with a lot, a lot of what we would do when I went over to visit them is watch movies and anime and stuff like that. Like, they were the people who introduced me to Studio Ghibli, which fucking awesome. What absolute legends for introducing me to Ghibli, by the way, because I will never forget watching Princess Mononoke for the first time at a sleepover, and it changed everything, bro. I fucking love that movie. But I watched Kimba the White Lion with them because they had season 1, or at least the original show, the original version of Kimba, like the really old one, on DVD. And so we watched it one night because they told me, like, I'd heard like the clickbait articles about it being similar to The Lion King, which, as Your Movie Sucks has proved through his like 3-hour YouTube video, or maybe it's 4-hour, I don't know. As Your Movie Sucks has proven, it's very different from Lion King. And I knew that from watching the show myself because it is extremely different from Lion King. But I'd heard the rumors and decided to watch it. So I know a bit about Kimba, but I don't know much about other things Tezuka has done other than being vaguely familiar with the concepts. Yeah, I've heard about that. Very, very cool piece of anime history, with it being the first anime in color. Very, very cool. I quite like Kimba. Obviously, some things in Kimba have not aged well, but I mean, it's a pretty decent show given the time it came out. Marrow, learn Rage. Yeah, because we have Lear, and Lear sucks, so I'll at least replace Lear. But no, yeah, very, very interesting. Haven't seen it in years. I don't think it'll be something I really rewatch, just because, like I said, it hasn't aged very well. And, it's also just, like, kind of obscure, so I don't think it's very easy to find and watch. But, I don't know. That's what I'm most familiar with. But I know nothing about Astro Boy, and I was kind of surprised when I watched Pluto. I've only watched 2 episodes. We watched the first episode and then the second episode. And the first episode I actually watched a really long time ago. That was when I was still living in my old apartment. So it's been a hot minute. But I don't know. If I hadn't been told that it was Astro Boy, I probably would have never realized until he showed up. Cause it's I don't know. When I think of Astro Boy, I don't think of a show in that style. But I'm pleasantly surprised. It's really good. But Steins Gate, goated. Love that show. We're supposed to watch it tonight, but it's dependent. So we're watching it in a group of 3. It's me and 2 friends. And one of my friends might have plans tonight that interfere, which he warned us in advance that he might not be able to watch it tonight, but it's a little bit more up in the air right now. So we're waiting to find out if we're going to be watching Steins Gate tonight. I hope we are. I really want to continue Steins Gate 0. It's a fucking good show, and I really want to know what happens next. Which, have you guys watched Steins Gate 0 or Steins Gate in general? Because I don't know how much I should say. I don't want to be spoiling anything, because I do think that this is a show that is absolutely worth watching yourself. Haven't seen 0? You have seen the original, though? Like, Steins Gate? Just plain? Maybe I shouldn't say anything about 0, then. Because it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. I'm only 2 episodes in, but it's kind of crazy. If you haven't seen 0, I think you should watch it. I'm not gonna say why, but it's wild. It's good. I like it. I'm only 2 episodes in, but I'm really, really enjoying it so far. Honestly, the friend that recommended Steins Gate, her opinions are kind of goated. She has never recommended me a bad show. It's kind of like with Rhett, my friend that runs the Custodians. He has never recommended me a bad show. I feel kind of bad because my friends always recommend me things, and I just say, oh, maybe I'll watch it, or no, I'm not really interested in that. And they get frustrated because they're like, but I'm recommending you a good thing. And I'm like, yeah, I understand. You don't, like, I'm not saying you give me bad recommendations. You've never given me a bad recommendation. I just don't always want to watch things. But yeah, like, this friend that recommended Steins Gate, and I've been watching it. We've been watching it in a group. We watched all of Steins Gate, like, the first season of Steins Gate in a group as well. Fucking... And I went into that show completely blind. I knew nothing about Steins Gate. God, talk about what a fucking gut punch, bro. What a crazy show to go into completely blind. Which I do think is the ideal way to watch it, but it's nuts. It's crazy. But Steins Gate, fucking awesome recommendation. Gravity Falls, awesome recommendation, which that was from both her and Rhett. Both of them recommended Gravity Falls. I'd never watched it when it was airing. I was a lame child. I don't know why I didn't watch it. Both Gravity Falls and Over the Garden Wall I didn't watch when they aired, which is unfortunate because I was in the age demographic that would have watched it when it was airing, but I just didn't for some reason. And it's genuinely tragic. Actually, I can tell you why I didn't watch it when I was a kid, because that was the age I was when those shows were coming out. Yes, I was within the age demographic that would have watched those. But it was in a time in my life where I was reading more than I was watching TV. And so I wasn't around. Also, I'm very sorry to do this for the second time during stream, but after this battle is over, I'm going to take a quick restroom break. I'll finish the battle first, but I am going to take a quick restroom break after this battle. God forbid the streamer take breaks. It's so terrible of me. How should I? How could I do this? But yeah, I used to read a lot when I was a kid. My parents really encouraged us to read over watching television. And that was what I did for a long time. When I was really young, I was really limited on television, like what I could watch and how much of it I could watch. It's part of why whenever people ask me about things I've seen, they're genuinely shocked by how little I've seen, as far as like movies and television both. Just because when I was growing up, I wasn't allowed to watch TV very often. I was encouraged to read, so I know more about books than I do television sometimes. Okay, I'm gonna really quick use the restroom. I will be right back. Alrighty, sorry about that. I am back. Let's see. I was talking about the shows. Oh, 1 second. I forgot to close my door. Fuck. Doors must remain closed for optimal sound quality. Which, like, not that my sound quality is all that good, but it'd be worse if I just left my doors open. Let's talk about recommendations of shows. Gravity Falls. I was talking about how I read a lot as a kid and didn't watch shows. So, like, just a lot of shows that came out in the area when I was younger, like My Life as a Teenage Robot, Kim Possible, Teen Titans, all those absolutely fantastic shows I just didn't watch when I was a kid. Because I wasn't allowed to watch much TV, and the TV I was allowed to watch was pretty limited. Like, I didn't watch Fairly Odd Parents at all when I was growing up because I wasn't allowed to. My parents hated that show and wouldn't let me watch it. SpongeBob, honestly, would have been in the same boat. I was very lucky that I was even able to watch SpongeBob because one of my parents hates that show, but the other parent likes it, so I was allowed to watch it. But wasn't allowed to watch Teen Titans. Yeah, I don't know. There are a lot of things I wasn't allowed to watch as a kid, and so I didn't. I don't really know why they kind of made those arbitrary decisions on what I could and couldn't watch. It's an interesting decision to tell your kid, hey, you can't watch Fairly Odd Parents because I think it's annoying. Not because they thought it was inappropriate, because they thought it was annoying. I don't know. My family was just always really strict about stuff like that. They were also super strict about video games. Kind of funny, look like in hindsight, how much I love video games and how much I was limited on it when I was younger. Because when I was a kid, back in my day, my parents for some reason like really against playing video games during the school week. So like if I had school, I was not allowed to play video games at all. Really odd decision. Like, yeah, you can watch as much TV as you want, but you can't play video games when video games are arguably more mentally stimulating than television. Like, I don't know why they banned me from playing games as a kid during the week, but I wasn't allowed to. Which that didn't stop me from sneaking and playing video games when they weren't around, but, like, they tried to enforce it. I don't know. It was a really odd way to parent. Not really sure why they went like that, but you know. And they also were just kind of weirdly, okay. Not to complain about my family too much on this, because I could complain about my family a lot, but I won't do that because that's kind of a bummer thing to do on live stream. I will, however, say I'm still to this day annoyed by their weird. I don't know if I'd call it sexism when it came to video games, but their weird enforcement of what I could play versus what my older brother could play. My older brother was allowed to play a lot of games that they thought were inappropriate for me and wouldn't let me play. I also just thought it was very funny that one of the things that they wouldn't, like, I wasn't allowed to play, when I was in high school, or like late middle school, early high school, they were very reluctant to let me play some of the rated M games, or is M is the rating above teen, right? I don't know. The rating above teen, very reluctant to let me play it. Like I think Skyrim falls in that jurisdiction. Like they were very reluctant to let me play Skyrim. And they wouldn't let me play The Witcher. And you want to know what their reasoning for not letting me play The Witcher was? It has female nudity. Guys, I really hate to break it to you. I don't think female nudity is going to be an upsetting thing for me. Crazy concept. Female nudity, not that crazy to me. I don't know, dog. Don't know. When I was 17, I think I probably could have handled female nudity in a video game. I don't think that would have like rocked my world or done anything groundbreaking. I don't know, man. My older brother was allowed to play it, which was funny because it's arguably far more inappropriate for him. But whatever, I guess. Pop off, I guess. It was a huge fight getting them to let me play Skyrim, though. But I eventually convinced them because I was adamant that I had to play Skyrim because all of my friends were playing it, and I fucking love fantasy, and a fantasy open world game sounded like my dream. So I was insistent. So I did eventually get to play it. But it was a battle getting them to let me. Speaking of a battle, Yanma, again. We're gonna put Chonk in. Take these boys out. Okay, let's in for the long haul on this battle for sure. I do like this swarm mechanic that they introduced in this generation, but god does it make some of these battles just so agonizingly slow. Especially when you're fighting Yanma, because Yanma not only does it get to attack 5 times, but they have fucking speed boost. So every time they have a turn, their speed goes up, meaning I have to stand here for 20 minutes while all of their things do speed boost up. Mildly annoying. It's whatever. At least I'm able to one-hit kill them. I wish I had moves that were good for swarms, but unfortunately I don't think I have a single one that would work for swarm. It's really unfortunate that I lost those Pokemon last stream. It would have been a significantly less, like, I would have had to do significantly less grinding if I hadn't lost Pokemon last stream. Let's see. One thing I've been doing recently, since I kind of talked about Gravity Falls briefly, I actually have been rewatching Gravity Falls because I found out that, so they released a while back, you could buy Gravity Falls on DVD, and then they had a DVD commentary track you could listen to, where it was Alex Hirsch and a couple other people who worked on the show, provided commentary for every episode in the series. And, Body Slam's pretty good. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. So I've been rewatching the episodes and then listening to the audio commentary that was posted on YouTube. And it's really interesting hearing the thought process that goes into a lot of what made the show what it was. I was honestly kind of shocked to find out that a lot of the stuff that they had in the show was not initially planned. Like, one of the things Alex Hirsch talks about in the episode commentary tracks is they did not know when they made Bill Cipher that Bill Cipher was going to be the main antagonist of the show. They did not have that, like, planned. All the triangle imagery that they had put in the show was simply there as a reference to the, like, triangle symbol on the dollar bill that everyone associates with the Illuminati. That was literally the inspiration for a lot of the triangle motifs. Bill Cipher was not really a thought for a while, which I thought was pretty surprising. The other thing he talked about, like, I don't know, a lot of the continuity that they have in the show, like, some of it wasn't retroactive. Like, one of the things that I thought was really clever that they did, which I hadn't picked up on this in a very conscious, like, I haven't picked up on it in a very conscious way. Like, it was something that I noticed, but I had never really thought too much into when watching the show. But they would do small things like, in one episode, Stan cuts his hand, and then in the next episode, he's wearing a bandage on his hand that you saw him use during the last episode. Or, like, in episode 1, Dipper loses his hat, and in episode 2, at the end of episode 1, he gets his new iconic pine tree hat, and then that is what he wears for the rest of the series. When I watched that initially, like, in my brain, I was like, oh yeah, it makes sense that Dipper would have the hat that he got at the end of episode 1, and I didn't really think much more of it. But one thing Alex Hirsch said is the reason they included stuff like that was because they wanted to show viewers of the show that the show was going to have continuity. This wasn't going to be a purely episodic thing where something happens in an episode and then it never happened, like, is never brought up again or never discussed further in the show. It's kind of just a one-off thing that never comes back. And he said he wanted to establish right away that that was not the kind of show Gravity Falls was going to be. So he immediately set up that there is continuity. Things that happen in one episode will be, like, they will be important in further episodes. And it's such a neat, subtle thing to do that made sense and really put you in the right thought process of watching the show, but not something that you immediately pick up on as a viewer. That was just such a clever thing to me. I really like that the way he talked about that, because I would have never considered it in that light. But it's honestly really smart as far as, like, being a writer for a show like that. I don't know, the commentary track is really cool. If you have an interest in Gravity Falls and you are ever interested, I would honestly recommend giving it a listen. It's totally worthwhile. They have all the episode commentary tracks up on YouTube. Like, it's really nice. Though I will say, I probably keep it on the down low a little bit because I don't think those commentary tracks are not official uploads. So I don't know if they get too much attention, whether they'll get taken down or not. Hopefully not. Because I like the fact that they're available on YouTube. Wonder Trade. I miss Wonder Trade. What a fun mechanic. I don't think they have that in the newer games, do they? I mean, they have, like... They have something kind of like the GTS and trading system in the newer game with Scarlet Violet. I haven't played Scarlet Violet in forever. I really honestly should pick it up again. Because Scarlet and Violet... I haven't played probably in over a year, other than to battle Rhett one time. But... what was I gonna say? Shit, I keep losing my train of thought. This is the thing with live streams like this that makes them difficult. I don't mind grinding in general, like as far as Pokemon goes. I don't mind grinding for Pokemon levels. The one thing that does make it a little bit hard with live streaming, though, is with grinding, like, when other things are happening in-game, like you're progressing the story or you are doing gym battles, it's like, it's much easier to stream because what you're doing gives you a lot to talk about. Whereas when you are just doing nothing but grinding for levels for a gym battle, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little harder because I have to just fill time with me yapping. And don't get me wrong, I am a certified talker. I can talk. That is not a problem for me. But it does mean that I get burnt out on streaming a lot faster. And also, I didn't mean to hit that. I meant to hit the move above it. It also means that my mouth gets really dry and I've finished my water. And I'd have to go get a new one, but I've already paused stream twice, so I don't know. Oh my god, Marrow, get your shit together, my guy, please. There we go, very nice. I don't know, though. I'm having fun with streaming. I've missed doing this, and I like incorporating it into my Sunday routines now, where I get to come home and just live stream for a while after I do all of my adult responsibilities. It's fun. Pokemon is the game of choice at the moment, but I might expand into other games. I actually thought about streaming something different than a Pokemon X Nuzlocke Day, because I've done Nuzlockes every week that I've streamed so far, except week 1 I did Monster Hunter Wilds. But I don't think I'll return to playing Wilds on stream, because honestly that's a game I have more fun playing off stream than I do on. And since I'm doing this purely for enjoyment, I'm not going to play a game I don't enjoy playing on stream. But I like playing Pokemon on stream. It's fun. It gives more interaction. It's something I can talk about much easier, because with Monster Hunter Wilds, that was the first time. It's the first Monster Hunter game I've ever played. So it's not really a game I can discuss easily on stream. And it's also a game that really requires me to give it my full attention, or else I'm really bad at it. But I honestly thought about today streaming a different game. There's an indie game that came out recently from a creator I like. It's a very weird game. It's surrealism. So, you know, it's designed to be weird. Weird is kind of the point. But it's this really cool surrealist game that came out very recently. And I played a little bit of it last night. And I thought about playing it on stream today. But honestly, the way the game is designed, it's really not a game I could talk too much during. It's a game where I would really just be sitting there, watching things occur and appreciating the environment. And I feel like that's not really a fun thing to do on stream. I feel like part of the joy of watching streamers is hearing them talk about different things. And, well, it's kind of like, I don't know. I can't really say too much about it because it's kind of not too dissimilar from doing reaction content, which I actually do really like reaction content. But for me personally, I just think it's more fun to live stream when I'm able to actually have discussions versus live streaming a game where you're literally just going to be sitting there and staring at the game the entire time and maybe saying, wow, that was cool, anyway. So I'll probably be playing that game off stream for my own enjoyment. But if you're interested in checking it out, it's called Dream BBQ. It's based off of, if you're familiar with the character Enna, E-N-A, that's from an online YouTube series run by Joel G. It's a very cool surrealist animation series that he has posted for a few years. I've loved it for a long time. I've done fan art of the character, Enna. I think that the character designs are really neat, and while I'm not usually someone who's a fan of surrealism, like, I don't care for Salvador Dali's work. It's just not for me. Surrealism in general is something I've always been pretty iffy on. But for some reason, I really, really like it in this format. And I think the game's first chapter right now, like, if you want to support the creator, which I will be doing because I love his work, if you want to support the creator, you can buy the DLC version, which is $10, but the game itself is actually free right now, which is kind of crazy considering the amount of work that has very clearly gone into it. Because it is an insane... I was extremely impressed. It's an insane amount of work they have put into that game, and I'm kind of shocked that it's free. Because it's really cool. I really love that series. The character designs are fantastic. The landscapes are so unique and interesting. A lot of the humor is very, like, obviously random because it's surrealism, but it's also very clever. I'm just a huge fan of it. I'm very much looking forward to playing more of that game. I played a little bit of it last night, but I was up pretty late playing Repo with my friends. So I was pretty exhausted after we finished playing Repo, and I didn't really want to stay up any longer to keep playing the new game. So I figured I would give it a break and play it again at a different time. Maybe a day where my friends are not available to play or hang out. Because, like, Thursdays are when the custodians record. So I'm usually not able to hang out with anybody on Thursdays because either people are busy or they're recording. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll try it out some more later this week. I have been playing a decent bit of Repo, though. I finally convinced people to buy it and play it with me. It's so fun. I love Repo. I mean, I do think... Listen, I don't know. This might be a controversial take. I think I like Lethal Company a little bit more. I know that it's a controversial take, at least in our Discord server, because the friend that convinced everyone to do Repo likes Repo better than Lethal. I personally liked Lethal better. I think Repo is very fun and entertaining, and I like a lot of the mechanics of it, but Lethal Company, to me, it has a different feeling, and I prefer it. But Repo is also quite fun. I like it quite a bit. I'm very glad to be playing it with people, because I've been trying to group these goobers into playing games with me for a while, but the only game they ever want to play is Helldivers. It's all they do is Helldive, which Helldivers is a good game. I've played it. I like that game. I just don't want to play it all the time for 3 months straight, you know? That's all they've done, every day. I don't have that kind of attention span and love for a game. I'm sorry, I don't. Alright. How are we looking on levels here? Because I'm probably going to be ending the stream with the gym battle. We're at 24, 23, 25, 27, 26, 24. Let's do a little bit more grinding. I'd like to get my team to at least 25 before the gym. And then when that's done, we're going to take on the rock gym, and then we're going to call it a stream there, because I've been going for about 2 hours already. And 2 hours is pretty decent stream time for me. I don't have the kind of personality that streamers do when they do like subathons and shit where they go for like multiple days. I don't have that kind of energy. I don't have that kind of strength in my bones. So 2 hours to 3 is about my limit. So I will finish up my leveling as I am wont to do, and then we will do the gym and call it a day. Sorry about the background noise. It sounds like someone outside of my apartment decided they wanted to be annoying and have a loud car. I'm also sorry if you can hear my buttons clicking. I wish that was something I could adjust, but for my mic to be within a comfortable distance from my face to pick up my audio, it's unfortunately also going to be close enough to pick up my button clicks from my controller. I am wanting to get a mic arm, but I won't be able to get it until next month sometime. And hopefully getting a microphone arm instead of just having my mic be desk mounted. That hopefully will improve the audio quality for my streams a little bit. It will also just... It's not just for streaming. I mostly want it because in Discord VCs as well, my typing and mouse clicking has been brought up as being annoying. So my hope is that by getting a mic arm that I'm able to bring the mic closer to my face and not have to have it like next to my controller or next to my keyboard. Or on my desk where you can hear me every time I bump my desk. I'm really hoping that will help improve my audio quality for calls and streams. I've been wanting to get one for a bit, but one of my friends works at a store that sells tech supplies, and if I wait until I go there and get it, then I can get it for significantly cheaper. So rather than just buying it where I'm at, I'm gonna wait until I can get it for a little bit cheaper, because I am operating on a budget, as people know, as I have mentioned during the stream. Money is important, and I need to keep it. Flying, psychic. So rock is what I need to use. The thing that really sucks about grinding in this area is it's not honestly a very good place to be grinding with ground types. Like, Houndour is obviously easy for me to grind against with a ground type. But a lot of these Pokemon are not very easy to grind against ground types with. Alright, we're almost there. Honestly... I'm kind of tempted to just do the gym now. I'm only one level under the gym leader, and fighting the people in the gym leading up to the gym leader will level my Pokemon a bit. It's a bit more risky, but honestly, it might be worth. God damn it. I'm so bad at this. Ah! Fuck! Super potion. I would like 6 of them, please. Thank you. Yes. Sorry, I hit B to skip through dialogue because it's faster, but that also means I accidentally exit out of menus a lot. Like that. Alright. Fuck it. We're risking it. We're gonna go take the gym now. Because, I mean, Thumper is like 27. Ugly Barnacle's 24. Marrow's 24. Like, I honestly feel like this team is pretty fucking solid for taking on the gym. And I've got plenty of healing items. I don't think any of the Rock-type Pokemon have any status effects they can give me. Other than maybe getting frozen. I think we're ready. We're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna go for it. The thing that's such a bummer is I spent all this time... Oh, the gym's down there. I spent all this time grinding up this team, but next stream is probably going to have to be even more grinding, because this is not going to be the team I'm sticking with for outside of this gym, probably. I'm going to be switching to a different team, more than likely. Alright, let's do some rock types. The thing that's nice about this gym is I should at least be able to go to the Pokemon Center and not have to use up a ton of potions while I'm taking this on. Because the bug gym, you really can't, like, easily leave that gym and then go back in, whereas this one you can. Alright, Dwebble. Rock Bug. I love Dwebble. Dwebble's such a cute Pokemon. I love him. Oof. Not that much. That's okay, though. It's doing, like, no damage back. And it's gonna be trapped in that, which is good. What does Assurance do again? Let's take a look. Dwebble moves after me, so that won't do that much for me. I'll use Bite and see how that fares, because Sand Tomb's not going to do a ton of damage, but I'm curious to see if Bite will do the same. Oh, it does better. And Flinch. Excellent. Nice. Alright. Hit it with another Bite, and we should be good to go. Alright, yeah, this was the schmoove. There was no reason I needed to keep leveling before taking this gym on. Oh, Zuko has Moxie? Goated ability? But also a little sad because, Moxie is actually the reason I lost 2 of my Pokemon. Urpel, the Drifloon, and Georgie, my starter. I lost both of them to a Scraggy that had Moxie because I was doing a battle... with, where your, like, rival is a double... Like, you're doing a double battle with your rival as a partner. Ooh, that did a lot of damage. Fucking hell. Alright, Sparky, can you do this, please? Thank you. Okay, good. Thank God. Whew. Okay. I was gonna say, he should be fine. But I'm honestly glad Sparky is that high level, because that would have been really bad if he'd been any lower level. Very nice. Here we go. We're trucking. Zuko, you're gonna keep your moves. Yes. Yeah, I was fighting Team Flare, and it was one of those things where you do a double battle with your rival as a partner. And he just kept feeding the Team Flare grunts Pokemon to kill. Like, he put in a Fletchling against an electric type, and then he put in a Quilladrin against a poison type. And, like, he just kept putting in Pokemon that were just absolutely terrible type mashups for the Team Flare Grunts. And the Team Flare Grunts just kept killing it. And their Moxie, like, their Moxied Scraggy was in the entire time and just kept fucking killing all of them. So his attack got insane. Because not only was the move it hit my Frogadier with not super effective, my Frogadier was several levels above that Scraggy. And that Scraggy still one-hit killed simply because the Moxie had boosted its attack so much that there was just nothing I could have done that wouldn't have gotten one of my Pokemon killed. If I'd have known that it would have killed no matter what, I wouldn't have put my starter in, but my starter was my highest level Pokemon, so I thought my starter would be the most likely to tank the hit. But unfortunately, I miscalculated, and it would have one-hit killed literally any Pokemon I put in. And it just happened to be that the starter was the one that got sacrificed because I thought he might be able to take it. Alright, battle 1 in here is done. Let's do the next one here. I just gotta remember which way to go, which is gonna be the problem. Part of me does kind of miss when gyms were more like this. Because, like, now you do, like, at least in Scarlet and Violet, you did, like, the gym challenges thing. I don't know. I didn't like that as much as this. I like the gym puzzles, which that might just be me being nostalgic, but I really like it, personally. I'm sorry if you can hear banging. That's my fucking loud-ass upstairs neighbor. He annoys me to death. He's really loud. Oh, cool. It avoided the attack. That's annoying. Oof. That did a lot of damage. Well, as long as this attack doesn't miss, I'll be fine. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Jeez, Thumper is almost 30. That's crazy. Honestly, I don't think that's worth. I'm gonna stick with the moves I've already got. Alright. That's Trainer 2 down. I'm gonna switch Zuko out of the front and throw Marrow in the front. And we're gonna see if we can get a little further in before we go back to the Pokemon Center. Because I don't want to leave and go to the Pokemon Center after literally every battle, because that's gonna get really tedious if I do that. Solrock is, I believe, Mono Rock, right? This should be a pretty decent battle then. Or is it Rock Psychic? Maybe it's Rock Psychic. Oh, it has Levitate. That sucks. Okay. Ugly Barnacle. That's all you, pal. I hadn't considered that, but yeah. Solrock, yeah. Wow, that did nothing. Woo! That little chip away at health is annoying, though. See what I mean about the loud upstairs neighbor? Fucking annoying. This is actually not a super good spot for my Binnacle to be in. He is, like, pretty hurt. Yeah, he's coming out. I'm not leaving him in. Thumper should be good for this. Oh! I can't switch him out. Okay, I guess I'm gonna be healing him. I guess I forgot that Fire Spin prevents you from switching. That's very unfortunate. At least this withdrawal, this clamping attack is gonna chip at his health too. Clamp, it is clamp, okay. Okay, tank this Psywave, please. Fuck, we might be screwed. We might be fucked. We might be losing him. That's like bad. That's like really bad. Fire Spin might be taking him out. That sucks, that's bad. Oh god, that's not good. Oh my god, because it fainted the... Oh my god. Holy shit, that's so lucky. Oh my god. We almost lost him. That would be so bad if we lost our other water type, bro. That would have been so bad. Thank fucking god he lived. Holy shit. That was a mini heart attack. Alright. We are definitely going to the Pokemon Center after this battle. Fucking Jesus Christ, man. Whew. That was rough. I did not account for Pokemon that had Levitate, which was probably unwise of me, but I did not even consider that. Okay. Let's go heal up. I know it's going to be a little bit annoying to watch me go through all of this shit again, but I'm sorry. I need to go heal my guys. I cannot prioritize saving time over saving the lives of my Pokemon. That battle was rough. Shit, man. I did not even think about the fact that there are Rock-type Pokemon that have Levitate as an ability. I always forget about Lunatone and Solrock until I fight them again, and then I realize how much of a problem they are. This soundtrack is so nice. I like the sound the bike plays. Honestly, you would be hard-pressed to find a single Pokemon game with a bad soundtrack. I can't say that I like every single Pokemon game that's ever come out, but I can definitively say that I don't think there's a single soundtrack that's bad. There are some I like more than others, and some that are more memorable than others, but the soundtracks are always very solid in Pokemon games. I'm a little biased, but I especially like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. And I love, why am I doing this? I don't need to climb this one. I also really love Diamond and Pearl's soundtrack, which that one's mostly nostalgia, because that was the game I started with. It was my first ever Pokemon game was Pokemon Diamond. So I'm, of course, very nostalgic for that game, but I do genuinely think it has an absolutely fantastic soundtrack. Alright, next battle. Got Marrow in the front. We should be good to go. Rhyhorn, alright. Okay, did like nothing. That's sick. Speed fell, which kind of bums, but that's okay, because Rhyhorn is still really slow. Alright. That's one down, man. Nose Pass. We should be good to leave Marrow in. Marrow's taking hardly any damage right now. And Nose Pass shouldn't have anything super crazy. Yeah, we're doing good. We're trucking. We're doing fine. Why is it using Tackle on me? That's such a bad move. Alright, 2 of 3. Let's get this third one down. we should be fine to leave Marrow in a little longer. I might swap it out after the first attack, though, because Onyx can hit pretty hard. Ooh, I might not be able to switch after this, because Bind, I think, is one of those moves that keeps you there. Eesh. Rough. Is Onyx really that fast, or is Bind a priority move? It's just that fast, huh? That's kind of impressive. I didn't realize Onyx had such a high speed stat. I always kind of group Onyx in with the bunch of Pokemon that are like the slow, heavy hitters. I never really think of it being fast enough to do something like that. Woo! Alright. We're gonna go ahead and throw Zuko in the front and keep climbing. I'm not sure if there are any more trainers before the gym leader or not. We're gonna find out. There's not. Okay, so since the gym leader is our next person, I'm gonna go ahead and go heal up before at the Pokemon Center before we start. Because, yeah, I technically could use a potion, but I don't really want to waste potions outside of battle unless I have to. Go heal up one more time, and then it's gym leader time, baby! Take out this rock gym. It's gonna be a bit of a struggle because my team is not the best, but we'll truck. We'll get through. All right. Let's go fight this gym leader, baby. It's time. Gonna show this guy what a real trainer looks like. And then finally get out of this slump. Because I was saying last stream, I always forget how slow early game X and Y is. Early game X and Y is kind of a slog. But, I mean, we're about out of the thick of it right now because we are about to take on the rock gym and get to the place where there's not such a huge gap. But there is such a long gap between gyms 1 and 2. I keep forgetting I don't need to climb this. But we are about ready to rock and roll here. Though I can't remember. I know there's a Team Flare base in the next, like, city up from here, but I can't remember if I'll be fighting it right away or if that's something I do later in the game. I'm not honestly 100% sure. Alright. We're gonna be leading with Zuko. We have our rest of our team to switch out to. And we are ready to rock and roll. I'm thinking we're going to be taking out the very first Pokemon with our ground moves. And then when we get to the rock ice Pokemon, we're going to swap out and try our water type. Because I think... actually, maybe I should double check. I don't think that ice is super effective against water. But I guess I would need to double check that. Oh, he starts with that. I thought he started with the other one. Okay, fuck. Let me check that water type thing. Ice Pokemon. 'Cause they're not very effective against water. Nice. Okay. So Ugly Barnacle is going to be our first move here. And if he does poorly, we'll go to Thumper for our Steel type moves. Because I don't think Ground is going to do a whole lot against this. Nice. Thunder Wave. That's annoying. Alright, cool. We managed to get off our water type attack. Nice. That'll be good to do some chip away damage. Very good, very good. hopefully we won't have a paralysis pause here. Good. All right. Dude, I don't know why I was worried. This is going great. I'm killing it. Literally, what was I worried about? I was so scared of this gym. This is going way better than anticipated. I actually managed to build a pretty solid team to fight this after my starter got Tyrant. Yes, we're going to be switching out. And we are going to be going with Zuko. If we need to go to Marrow, we will. All right. Nice. Very solid. And we got some chip away damage there as well. Ooh, that did a lot more than I thought it would. I hate that. I don't know. I really don't want to lose Zuko because I would actually really like to keep this. I would like to keep Sandile as a full-time ground type on my team. So I really don't want to lose him. Alright, I don't want to risk it. We're going to put Thumper in. It might be a bit overkill. But I probably could have finished with Zuko, but I just really don't want to lose my Sandile. Which I probably would have been fine because Rock Tomb probably would have done like no damage. But I don't want to risk it. I'm not in the mood to. Don't flinch. Okay, good. Thank God. That'd be so annoying. Woo! God! That was such an easy gym. Literally, what was I so scared of? Let's go! That's gym 2 fucking down, baby! I literally was so nervous about this gym. I had literally no reason to be worried. I put together such a solid team. It was like not even close. That Soul Rock and Lunatone battle I had was actually worse than the gym battle. That's wild. Rock Tomb. I can teach that to Thumper. Honestly, Thumper was such an MVP for this gym. Which, for viewers watching that weren't around or maybe don't know this, Thumper is not a Pokemon I caught. You get Thumper as a trade Pokemon from some guy that's in like a Pokemon Center. He just trades you a Steelix for a Love Disc. And I happened to catch a Love Disc and didn't want it and traded it for the Steelix. And that was honestly... that was such a good move. Like, that actually came in such handy. And Steelix is honestly going to be a really good Pokemon to have for this playthrough in general, because X and Y was the generation that introduced Fairy, and Fairy Pokemon are actually kind of crazy. They're like one of the better types in the game. So having a Steel type, because Steel is good against Fairy, especially... well, the thing is I might not keep Thumper on the team because I do also have a Zubat, or I can't remember if I evolved him or not. But I have a Zubat/Golbat, which will be Poison Flying, which would also be good for Fairy. But I don't know. It's nice having Steelix as a backup, or maybe as just like the Pokemon I keep as my Fairy counter. But yeah, Gym 2 is done. We have saved up the game, and we've been going for a little over 2 hours now. I think we are going to be calling the stream there. I really appreciate everybody who stopped by, whether briefly or for the entire stream. If you stayed for the entire time, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. It really makes streaming so much more fun and fulfilling when there are people here for me to interact with. Because sure, I can talk to a screen for 2 hours straight, but having people here and knowing that people are actually interacting and enjoying, it really does make this more fulfilling for me. If you haven't already, please check me out on my other socials. I have a YouTube channel where I post all of the live stream VODs, and I will eventually be posting some edited content there. I'm just kind of a little bit slow at the editing process at the moment as I am learning and growing. Also, editing 2-hour-long streams is like such a Herculean task. I'm an artist. If you see this model that is on screen talking to you, I drew her, and I draw a lot of other things. If you're interested in checking out my art, please check out my TikTok and my Instagram. I post art there most of the time. I also have a Discord channel if you want to be able to interact with other people who watch my streams, or if you're interested in seeing random content I post there, or getting announcements whenever streams are coming out. Please feel free to join my Discord server. If you are watching this on Twitch right now, I'm going to pop in the links. So if you are interested, you can click on that link and get access to all of my social medias. If you are watching this on YouTube and have stuck it out till the very end, I will be posting the links to this in the description of the video. So if you are interested, you can feel free to check me out there. As far as live streaming goes, I've been saying for the past couple of weeks that I really don't have a schedule, but I am going to announce that as of right now, I have a very tentative schedule of streaming on Sunday afternoons. I have managed to make this enough of a routine that I think I can maintain it. It will not be an every weekend thing, because I will occasionally have traveling that I have to do to visit friends and family. If that is ever the case, I will try to stream on a different day. And if I'm not able to stream that week, it's just going to be how it is. I will be using the Discord server to alert people if I am not planning to stream that week, or if I'm planning to move the stream to a different day. So again, if you're interested in keeping up to date with me, please check that out and join my Discord server. And yeah, I think that covers everything. Again, thank you all so much for stopping by, or if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much for sticking it out till the end. And I will see you all next week. Have a fantastic rest of your Sunday. Bye!